Love. There is nothing in this world that is more exhilarating or frustrating. We all want to be loved, be respected, and feel safe in our relationships with our lovers, friends, and family. So, what happens when instead of love, you're dealing with people you barely tolerate? Hey, I'm Keisha Rice, wife, dating coach, caffeine addict, and giver of really blunt advice. And this is Cherished. One of the most common questions that I get when women, have calls with me or when they DM me on social media is something that starts with, what does it mean when a man says blank? What does it mean when a man says he's not interested in a committed relationship? What does it mean when a man says that he wants to go with the flow? What does it mean when a man says that he wants to test the waters a little bit? What does it mean when a man says that he's not willing to do certain things until he knows that this is a serious relationship or that he really likes me? You know, the easiest answer I can give to this is, if you're asking me, what does it mean when a man says blank? Whatever the blank is, that is what he's saying. So I get it. I'm not trying to be flippant when I answer this question for you. I understand that women communicate differently than men, that we go out of our way to hedge things that we say. Um, we typically like to put a little sugar on the things that we say. It is in our nurturing ability. Unfortunately, we were also socially conditioned to people please. So sometimes we work very hard to take the things that we say and couch them in sweetness and not give them the full impact of what they actually mean. That is on our parts. Women need to do a much better job of saying what they mean, meaning what they say, not being afraid to set boundaries, understanding that people pleasing tendencies only groom people to mistreat you. All of that. In general, men are not like that. Generally, masculine energy is very upfront. So when a man tells you something, he means it. Now, yes, we can do a whole episode about manipulators and, about people like the Tinder swindler and all that. But I'm talking in general, when a man says something, he means it. And oftentimes, instead of hearing what is being said to you, it's not uncommon for women to come to me and to put their own interpretation or spin on what a man said to them, and for them to hear what they wanted to hear instead, because they wanted this relationship to work. They want this person to mean something. They want commitment in general. It's so much better to take what you originally hear, and if it's not something that you want to hear, to go ahead and cut your losses, than to allow the pain to amplify and to find yourself in a situation where you've created much more heartache and heartbreak for yourself than you needed to. I'm gonna take a sip of water for just a second. So, in general, if a man tells you something, believe it, especially if his actions match that. If he shows you that he's nonchalant, that he's not that committed, believe that. But if you need some help, I'm going to spell out some of the common ones. So if a man says that he's just trying to chill, he's not ready for a relationship, he wants to go with the flow, what that means is he's not committing. It means he's not going to commit. And I've seen a lot of TikTok videos lately that have said something along the lines of, if a man says he's not ready for a relationship, the with you is silent. He's not saying that he's not ready for a relationship. He's saying that he's not ready for a relationship with you, I guess. But in general, what does it matter? If a man says that he's not ready for a relationship, it doesn't matter whether or not he means with you or not. It means that he's not ready for a relationship. You want a relationship, so you should move on. Even if he does decide that he wants a relationship with someone else, not your problem, not your circus, not your monkeys, right? Because at the end of the day, he doesn't want a relationship with you. You want a relationship, therefore, it's not a match. So whenever you hear some version of I'm just trying to chill, you know, let's go with the flow. I'm not ready for a relationship, or I haven't really thought about it. All of those mean he's not committing. And if you are in that place yourself, that's fine. But if you are adamant about committing, this is a desire for you, you want to be married, you're only interested in pursuing relationships that lead to marriage, it means that it's time for you to thank him for his honesty and to move on. Another one that I hear often is, what does it mean when a man says that he's still hurt from previous relationships or that he can't trust anyone? What that means is he's not ready for a relationship. Because if he's saying that he's still hurt or that he can't trust, then emotionally, he is not available to you. He's not available to you. He's not available to a relationship with you because he is still dealing with whatever was in his past that he hasn't healed from. And until he heals from those things, he's not going to be available. Now, yes, there are some men who lie about this or who will use this as an excuse to not commit. You know, you have men who are in their 30s and 40s who will say that they're still hurt from that girl who turned them down in like second grade. If he's truly still hurt, he has problems that shouldn't be yours. And if he's using that to treat women like dirt, if he's using that to not commit, if he's using that to not be consistent, then he has issues that he needs to work through, and he's still not emotionally available to you. If he's using it in that context, that means that he is coming up with reasons for why he is going to abuse and mistreat you. Instead of allowing that, instead of making excuses, oh, he's not as sensitive as I would like, he's not as vulnerable as I would like, he won't commit to me, but I understand he's so hurt. He's a grown man. That's what he is. He's a grown man. It's not your job to be an emotional rehab for anyone. The fact is, if you are listening to me, if you have seen a therapist, if you have seen a coach, if you've worked with me, if I've been your coach, then you, as a grown woman, took the initiative and went and got help to heal from your emotional wounds, from your emotional damage, so that you could be a better person for yourself and so that you could be a better partner for your future husband. If you, a grown woman, were capable of doing that, then why shouldn't a grown man also be capable of doing that? The fact is that he doesn't want to. He's not available to be in a relationship with you. So you should cut your losses. The third one that I'm going to mention that I hear a lot, any man who calls other men simps, who talks about women being gold diggers, who says that he wants your first couple of dates to be chill. He wants you to come over his house or you go over, or he comes to your place, or he wants to do things that are really cheap because he's concerned about gold diggers. Generally men who use the word females all the time. A man who worries about gold diggers has absolutely no gold to dig. Congratulations, you have found yourself a primo dusty. That's what you have found. When a man talks about gold diggers and, being afraid of being manipulated and stuff like that, It's often projection. This is someone who is manipulative themselves. This is someone who will use women themselves. They say that they're afraid of being used, but this is typically the type of man who is going to want to go 50-50 with you on the finances, but then also want you to be 100 on the domestic stuff. So, he pays half the bills, if that. And then he's going to want you to cook, to clean, to have sex whenever he wants it, to take care of the kids while he sits on his lazy, broke behind and does nothing. Again, it is a projection. He's not afraid that you're going to manipulate him. He's plotting how he is going to manipulate you. So when a man talks about this is your sign to, again, keep it pushing, keep it moving. You are not going to prove that you're not a gold digger by paying for things, by insisting that you go 50-50 all the time, insisting that you pay half the bill so that he doesn't have to worry about that. He knows that he can trust you. He is teaching you to tolerate less, is what he's doing. He is training you that you won't put up as much of a fight. You won't argue with him. You will give in to his demands. That is what he is doing. He is projecting. He is going to be a gold digger towards you. So again, when it comes to getting to know a man, having conversations with him, above all, we trust actions. You're looking for your husband to be emotionally intelligent, emotionally stable, financially stable, mentally stable. You're looking for a man who is consistent and who consistently shows you that he loves you and appreciates you. But if he is saying things, especially early in the relationship, when people tend to be on their best behavior, if he's saying things early on that are red flags, trust and believe him. You don't need to go grab an interpreter. He says he's not ready for a relationship, he's not ready for a relationship. If he says that he doesn't trust, he's not going to trust you. If he says that he doesn't want to deal with women who are gold diggers, he is going to dig you for every single thing that you have. Trust and believe that. So I hope you enjoyed today's topic. And I would love to know what your biggest takeaway is. Make sure you are following me on Instagram. I'm at Keisha Rice, KESHIARICE, and screenshot this. Post it on Instagram, post it to your stories. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was, and let me know if you have any questions. If you want me to do a follow-up with something else that men have said to you that I didn't mention. I will talk to you later. Love you so much. Bye. Hey there. So you made it all the way to the end of the episode, which means I have two things to say. One, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. And two, you like me. You really like me. So I would appreciate it if you would show that like by subscribing to this podcast so that more people can hear about it and enjoy it as much as you do. And if you want to know more about any of the links that I mentioned on this episode or any guests that I've had, be sure to go to KeishaRice.com/links. That's KESHIARICE.com/links. I can't wait to talk to you again in the next episode. So see you then.